Elden Ring is undoubtedly a great gameplay experience, considering the critical and fan acclaim. Whether you're brand new to the series entirely or whether you're a fan favorite, Elden Ring has brought something completely brand new to the table that we will appreciate in the gaming space for many years to come. Even though they've definitely drafted away far from the typical open world formula, From Software have definitely successfully created one of the best open world games of all time, and Elden Ring is a great achievement. But despite all that, Elden Ring is also a reminder to me that the A students can sometimes just get a B+. Even though they're attempting to do something different and brand new, missteps happen and failures are necessary to reach excellence. Today I aim to critique Miyazaki's attempt at innovating the Soulsborne series forever. While I commend them all for the attempt, I truly believe this change to open world has fundamentally degraded the great and well-established Souls formula. While I don't necessarily have a better solution to innovate as of yet, going open world has made Dark Souls far more generic. The game falls into the typical woes of the definitely flawed open world genre. When I go into the catacombs or typical ruins, I know that it's just more content. It feels similar to the low quality procedurally generated chalice dungeons that were implemented in Bloodborne, but as we all know, those are optional and weren't part of the main package. Despite all of those things that I've said so far, Elden Ring is definitely still enjoyable, and the question I continuously asked myself while I was playing the game was whether is the open world an improvement or a regression to the series? It still maintains its original formula when you enter things such as the legacy dungeons. Damn, it was especially difficult for me to decide and wrap my head around it while I was playing the game. But from what I was able to decipher even through it was that exploration was less exciting and even less rewarding. The loot wasn't necessarily revolutionary, and to be absolutely honest, there was much more intrinsic value and satisfaction in just exploring the world than the items I'll actually find. What I find exceptionally strange is the way in which they handle essential quest items. They'll put them behind a very powerful and strong boss, but you completely have the option to hop on torrents, completely speed past that boss, pick up the essential quest item to progress you further through the story, and completely skip that boss entirely or fight them when you feel you're much stronger. I found that extremely strange, and this was notable for two instances which I picked up. This was against the double two tree sentinels, which were posted before you reach the capital, and behind the huge glintstone dragon which was hiding the glintstone pebble which you need to be able to enter the Academy of Wizards, the Hogwarts essentially of Elden Ring. I just found it really strange that the game didn't force me somewhat to defeat this boss first before pressing onwards. It seems that the philosophy has definitely changed, but due to that it shows that even From Software definitely identify that you don't need to play everything, and not every single boss is worth fighting. It's completely optional. I'm not yet decided on how to feel about the entire experience as a whole, but there is one thing I am sure of. Quantity over quality is unfortunately the name of the game, but it's more than that. The linear/hub world maps of old are far superior to what Elden Ring has to offer. Now I understand as somebody who tries to push forward in every single aspect of life, innovation was now necessary to the now old and repetitive Souls formula, but From Software have made a mistake. If you've never played the original Souls games before, or you'd never really considered the world design of it, they essentially combined two significant game world designs into one cool and exciting package. The linear game design and the hub world game design map. This allowed for there to be open explorable paths at times with long linear routes connecting them. Depending on how far you are in the game, you could even choose which area you wanted to explore first. But most importantly, no matter which decision you chose to make first, From Software had full control of your experience. You could not go anywhere or fight any boss without completing certain objectives first. A railroaded roller coaster experience, but of course you choose which ride you want to hop onto first, the flying swing or the huge and daunting plummeting drop. all connected to one tree branching everywhere. This formula brought many positives as there was simply less content to provide to the player. Less is more, and due to this, the quality of the bosses, and most importantly the level design quality, is much higher. But exploration was also truly rewarding as the loot was more worthwhile. You could end up finding a completely secret area, a special item, or a brand new shortcut, making your journey much smoother. Things and issues that are found in Elden Ring, such as repetitiveness, is a misnomer using this formula. They're completely non-existent. Even though From Software have completely brought something new to the entire open world genre, Elden Ring unfortunately still falls into the typical traps of the open world game. It's not just Dark Souls but an open world. The mechanics that make the Souls games so good are significantly deteriorated inherently by having an open world map. Even if you're somebody who disagrees with my sentiments so far, I think everybody would have to agree with me here. When is Elden Ring at its best? When you're riding torrents, exploring the open world, finding chests, fighting enemies, or whether you're finding your way through an arduous dungeon such as Stormvale Castle, the Academy, and the many other forts and castles spread around the entire map. I think no matter who you are, you know the answer to that question. While having an open world to explore is definitely cool, level design suffers and is vastly weaker. It's much more interesting to explore a maze than it is to explore an open and clearly lit open field. Now, I will admit that the open world definitely has some strong things to it, such as beautiful sceneries and being able to go wherever your eye can see. It's definitely something satisfying with them, and people could just argue like, hey bro, we have the best of both worlds. We have the great and exciting open world, and we have these legacy dungeons which are linear with the style that Soulsborne fans already definitely enjoy. The thing is, and what I'd argue, is that we lose too much by going open world, and the quality degrades significantly in every single aspect. And here's one thing I haven't mentioned so far in this discussion in regards to Elden Ring in particular, the issue of repetition in the aims to create more content. Because of this, loot has to be repetitive. There's too many builds for FromSoft to cater for, so when you go out and loot and explore the world looking for something exciting and interesting, either it's not compatible with your build or it's not something worthwhile at all. And this is not even to mention the many repeat use cases of bosses and enemies from all previous games. Yeah, it becomes a bit dry. I don't know about you guys, but exploration is the main reasons I like these games in the first place. It's not even the bosses. Finding my way forward with no map is great and exhilarating. Realizing that you've learned the entire map by the time you finish the game is extremely satisfying, where having a compass or a map would be absolutely useless because there's no need. And I know some of you guys will fight me in the comment in regards to this, but I truly believe that even the legacy dungeons which have been inputted into the game have decreased in quality and compared to the previous entries From Software have already made, and I think this is just because of the sheer amount of castles and dungeons they have to spread out throughout the entire map. This is also the first Souls games where I've truly felt pressed for souls. Sorry, this is Elden Ring. Runes before. You'll fight a hard boss and honestly get a pathetic number of runes, get a mediocre weapon, or an inconsequential Ash of War. I now know that when I explore the open world of Elden Ring, I do it just for the sake of it, not because I aim to acquire something of value. Less is more. Now, considering all my controversial comments throughout this entire video, I've definitely taken a doozy on the game, but I understand this. I'm somebody who enjoys From Software games and plan to play pretty much every release that they come out with, but their level design and so many other aspects have taken such a huge hit from this decision. I truly believe that going open world for every single entry that From Software will make in the future is definitely not the right decision going forward. If you were to ask me like, hey bro, are you cool with every single From Software game now having the Elden Ring format, having open world and a mix of linear dungeons spread out throughout the entire map? Would I be personally happy with that? I'm being honest bro, it's a no from me. It's a no. Too much is lost, too much depth is lost, and we're being fed a lot more bloat and repetitiveness because more content has to be made. Open world games are inherently flawed, and this just brings those flaws into an already perfected formula. Having an open world and an essentially dead or lifeless open world also isn't great. Elden Ring misses out on the greatness that open world games offer, a living world, friendly NPCs, and factions and people to fight for and alongside with. You may find me in the comments, but I truly believe that the cons outweigh the pros of going open world. The loot quality degrades, the level design degrades, the boss quality degrades, the exploration degrades, and the uniqueness on which the Soulsborne formula was built upon is ultimately degraded, losing that specialness that we've come to know and love. The Souls formula is best when the path is rigid, not flowing. That's my take. Let me know yours in the comments. My name is Explicit Sage, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for joining me for another one. Take it easy, y'all.